All right, today we're talking about astronauts and how they find the International Space Station. It's brought to you by my 4-year-old nephew, who has a lot of questions about space, gravity, how that all works. So let us jump into it. Until a few days ago, I thought that the rocket was just launched up to the International Space Station. What actually happens is the rocket is launched into a lower orbit. Because it's a lower orbit, it's traveling faster than the International Space Station. During this time, the astronauts are going to locate and catch up to the International Space Station. Once they catch up with it and even overtake it a bit, they're going to complete two burns called a Hohmann transfer at the points marked on this map at X. A Hohmann transfer is a process that allows the rocket or space shuttle to get from one orbit to another. It's accomplished by completing two burns at the points marked X on the screen. This allows the space shuttle to increase speed to the other orbit, and then a burn is completed to keep this space shuttle or rocket in that other orbit. You may be wondering what happens if the rocket doesn't complete the second burn. If the second burn isn't completed at the X, it'll fall into this new purple orbit. It won't be placed in the orbit of the space station. The rocket begins the Hohmann transfer into the green orbit by completing a burn. This increases the speed of the rocket so that it's propelled into the International Space Station orbit. A second burn is completed to keep the rocket in that orbit. Now, at this point, the rocket needs to complete a U-turn, so another burn is completed that swings the rocket around. A final burn is given to push the rocket towards the International Space Station, and at this point, the International Space Station and the rocket will complete the docking process. When you think about the docking process, it's pretty amazing. These two vehicles are traveling at speeds of about 17,000 miles per hour, and they're trying to connect so that the astronauts can get into the International Space Station. It's pretty cool. And that is how astronauts find and gain access to the International Space Station. Have a great week.